How is everyone doing today? Hopefully you are doing well. Now the topic for today is an interesting one, gaslighting. And there's actually a movie about it in 1944. And it's where this husband basically manipulates and has his partner questioning reality. So let's kind of take a step back. I want to provide, if you will, through this whole video, an idea of what gaslighting is, so that maybe if you find yourself in a relationship and you are, struggling to a certain point, and this term came in mind, or someone brought it up to you and said, "Hey, I think there's gaslighting taking place," you're able to work through that. As always, do some research. Do your due diligence. But let's dive in. So I've got some notes here. I've got my notes ready, if you will. Gaslighting. Gaslighting takes place whenever there's manipulation, coercion. Whenever you're with someone, right? Like if I'm the one engaging in gaslighting, and then you're my partner or the victim, if you will. It takes place where you start to question your reality. You start to question if what's happening is really happening. And then an example of this, as it takes place, would be where I may deny something over and over. Like, let's say that I did something incorrect, I hurt you in some sort of way, and you have proof of it, right? You have a text, and you're like, "Look, dude, I know that you did this, blah blah blah, and my friends also know that you did it. You stole the cookies, right?" Then what I could do is, I could deny it over and over and over, and just deny it, which then has you really questioning things. You're like, well, he wouldn't deny it that much if he actually, didn't do it. He would just own up to it, because typically when someone's caught in doing something, they own up to it. So then it starts to kind of put you in this position where you're kind of sitting back and you're like, maybe my friends are lying to me. And then something else that I could do is, the one engaging in gaslighting, is that I could tell you that your friends are dishonest. They lie. They're not truthful people. They're bad people. They're wrong people. And I do that to kind of break that bond. Break your bond and your level of trust with them, so that when you bring up things like this and you're trying to say, "Hey, I saw this message," you're trying to get some sort of evidence that I did something, and then I'm denying it. You probably wouldn't use those friends, because you know how I already feel about them, and maybe I've even convinced you that there is that lack of trust with them. So you can tell, as I'm sharing this, how much manipulation takes place, how much control I'm trying to engage in, which are strong goals when it comes to gaslighting. What I'm wanting to do is, when I'm engaging in gaslighting, is I do want to control you. So it's right, engaging control. I'm wanting to manipulate the situation. I want you to see the situation as I'm painting it to be. Another area that has to do with gaslighting is where the person may attack you, if you will, at your core. Now, let's say like you're a strong worker in your company, or you're a parent, or you're a really good friend. They may break you down in that area. No one needs you at your job. You don't even do a good job, or your kids don't even love you. You're a horrible parent. And then they do that because it starts to break down yourself, right? Your self-esteem, your self-confidence, your self-worth. And when those are broken down, we can reach a level of depression. We can reach a level of insecurity, of self-doubt, where we ourselves are questioning even the merit, or the actions that we engage in. So then it makes it easier for the person engaging in gaslighting to play with us, to manipulate us, where we start to now question again our reality. Another tactic that takes place whenever gaslighting is happening is where the person engaging in gaslighting provides at times certain levels of kindness, or certain levels of love, affection, support. And the reason for that is to kind of throw a really nasty curveball, if you will. So like in that example, if my partner's coming and saying, "Hey, you took the cookie out of the cookie jar," and I'm just denying it over and over, I could do a big act. I could say, "Hey, I'm going to get us tickets to go to Puerto Rico for a flight, and let's have a vacation there for a week." Or I can comment on how awesome of a person that you are. And then I'm doing this to distract the situation, to steer you in a certain direction, and then to have you in this position where you're kind of questioning. You're going, well, maybe he didn't lie, because because someone, if he would have lied, he wouldn't have been as nice as he was. He wouldn't be as kind as he was. He wouldn't have said those things. He wouldn't have said all those nice things. He wouldn't have done all those nice things. So you know what? I think he's telling the truth. I think that I see the message there, and I see that there's the evidence, but because he did all those nice things, I think he's telling the truth. So you can tell, as I'm going through this role play, as I'm sharing it with you out loud, you can see how the person engaging in gaslighting, does all of these tactics, right, that cause me, the one receiving, the act of gaslighting, the victim, to question my reality, to experience a low self-esteem, a low self-worth, a low self-confidence, to feel insecure, to feel doubtful in myself and my thoughts, to break connections with my support system, the people that I trust and love, friends and family, so that when I'm questioning what's happening within the realm of a relationship, I'm not going to go to them, my friends and family, as I used to, because the person that I'm with, says that they're liars and they can't be trusted. Only this person can be trusted. And all of this, surrounds like this multi-variable, right? Multi-tactic, all of these strategies that connect to gaslighting and manipulation, where at the end, I find myself just questioning my reality. I find myself in a really difficult position. So maybe there was a lot said there. Kind of want to take a step back, and hopefully you're able to digest that and play with it. And if you find yourself, in a relationship where gaslighting is taking place, if you find yourself kind of watching this video and you're like, check, 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 okay, those things are taking place, often it's difficult for us to see what is common to us. If you are in a relationship where this is happening and you've been there for months and years, it can be very difficult to see it something different. It's why we want to step out, we want to step away, get really distant, be like this odd player. It's why a stranger can come in and say, hey, this is happening. But then to us, we're numb to it. We're so used to it that we don't see it. And it's not due to like a faulty in ourselves. It's not due to that we're not trying to see it. It's just we're so used to it that it becomes a system, if you will. It is what it is. And we don't know any different. Maybe because we haven't experienced any different. So something that can be really helpful is taking a leap, like a giant step back. You're like a 8-foot person, a huge step back. And reaching out to, let's say, a counselor and sharing what's going on, reaching out to someone who's neutral, someone that's not biased, and sharing what's happening so that you're able to get some clarity and some understanding, and then create a platform, to support your life, to support your relationship in a very healthy way. I hope that this video was helpful. Leave a comment, any questions that you have. Gaslighting tends to be a very hot topic. If people have a lot of questions, so I'm more than happy to answer any of them that I feel comfortable answering. If you haven't done so already, subscribe, share this with anyone in your community that you feel is looking for support when it comes to navigating different mental health challenges, making psychology simple. Thank you for listening. Thank you for being here, and have an amazing day.